Hi there, it's Coach Katie from Amala Vita, and welcome to the module on deep questioning. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I'm really excited about this module because questioning is really the foundation of coaching. It's how we empower individuals to arrive at their own insights and really support them in coming to their own solution rather than telling them what to do, as you've probably seen so far. So while there isn't really necessarily a right or a wrong question to ask, there are definitely a few guidelines and tips that you can use in order to arrive at more effective and powerful questions when coaching. And the first of them is really to use open-ended questions rather than closed questions. This really allows more conversation and more flow when you're having a conversation with your coachee. Whereas when you use a yes or a no question, it really kind of puts a block in the conversation and doesn't help it to continue and develop. So always try to ask questions that's going to help promote and encourage their thought process rather than stop it. The one exception to this is if you're clarifying. So for example, if they've already arrived at a solution or an insight, and you might want to clarify what you've heard by saying, so what I'm hearing is that you really need to go back to your manager and talk to them about this project. Would that be correct? Then they might say yes, or they might say no, and that will give you the opportunity to dive deeper and to better understand what's going on. The second tip is to never start, or to try not to start a question with why. When we start a question with why, we tend to put the other person on the defense. So consider, for example, if one of your team members seems to be running late a lot recently, if you go up to them and say, hey Emma, why are you always running so late? That's going to make them feel attacked and it's going to get them on the defensive. And they're probably going to answer something like, well, I've got a lot going on at the moment. Whereas if you said, hey Emma, I noticed over the last couple of weeks that you seem to be running late into meetings, which is really out of character for you. Has something changed? That gives them the opportunity to feel in a much safer space and to really reflect on, well, what has changed? Why am I running late? And to explore that concern with you and hopefully arrive at some really valuable insights. So try to reframe questions away from starting with why and more towards observations and then digging deeper into them by using questions typically that start with what or who or how. And then finally, remember that when you are asking questions, not just to ask questions based on what is in your head or what your interpretation is or what you think you should ask, but to really use those skills of active listening that you learned in the last module and to first of all really hear what they're saying, really listen to what they're saying and ask questions based on what they're saying. So for instance, in the example of Emma always running late, you might say, so what I'm hearing is that things have changed a lot in your home dynamics and that you're really struggling to manage it all. What could I do to help with that? So rather than just kind of blasting off questions based on what you think you should ask, listen to what they're saying so that you can ask more powerful questions that are going to get to the core of what's going on and really help to arrive at new solutions. So to recap, stick to open-ended questions rather than closed questions, except for when you're clarifying. To not start questions with why, because that will put people on the defense, and to ask questions based on what you're hearing rather than what you're thinking. I hope that's helpful and good luck with the rest of the module.